This conference will now be recorded.
All right, good afternoon and welcome to the Clear Lines training session. I am your host, Kipp Cohen. It is Thursday, the 11th of April, 2019. I'm here for the next roughly about 60 minutes to cover the Clear Lines indicator running on the Medved Trader platform. This session is recorded and will be posted to the Equity-Alerts YouTube page. You can find our recordings at equity-alerts.com. Click on the YouTube link and you will find all of the training sessions posted there. Got a bunch of videos for your viewing pleasure. Each video does have a short description of what is covered in that segment. If you have questions about Clear Lines, you can click the Clear Lines tab on the Equity-Alerts website. You can also email me at kip@equity-alerts.com, or you are welcome to text or call me, 972-841-8886. And I'm happy to answer any questions you have about utilizing the Clear Lines software on the Medved platform. If you are a subscriber to Clear Lines and need my assistance, technical support, or just customer support training, I do provide that to all of my subscribers on an as-needed basis. I mean, I do this twice weekly training session to provide you with training, but if you need additional training, if you have additional questions, personally, I am happy to provide you with that. Quite the value for $59 a month, right? Clear Lines is a subscription-based trading indicator. The indicator itself is $59 a month plus an additional $19.99 a month if you do not have a trading account with Ally Invest. You would be required to pay Medved Trader their platform fee. If you have an Ally Invest account, funded account with over $500 balance, that fee of $19.99 a month is waived. If you have one of our other integrated brokers, one of Medved's other integrated brokers, which would be TD Ameritrade, E-Trade, Interactive Brokers, there's a couple others, then you would have to pay that $19.99 a month. If you have Charles Schwab or you have Fidelity or one of the couple of other brokers that are not supported by Medved, you will also be required to power their platform with data. And there are a couple of third-party data providers that would be an additional roughly 25 or 30 a month. So potentially 59 a month and up to 109 a month if you don't have an integrated broker and require data, separate data. Easiest would be to have a funded account with either Ally Invest, that would save you the most, or at minimum, if you had a small account with TD Ameritrade, at least you can get your data for basically free for having an account with TD Ameritrade. So that's kind of the details. If you have questions about that, I am happy to answer. I do not provide a free trial for Clear Lines only because of the time and effort required to get you set up, and you really need more than 3 days with it. You really need a good month. So the $59 for the first month is a reasonable fee. I do spend initially about an hour with my new subscribers on the phone and remotely connecting to your computer, helping you get set up if you need that assistance, I will help you install it and create a couple of custom layouts for you as well, and kind of just give you a quick once over with the software. But again, this weekly, twice weekly session is here for you guys, for me to answer your questions, to go through the platform, pretty much whatever you want or need. That's why I am here. And we already have a handful in the room today, so welcome. Happy Thursday. First question already from Bruce. I tried some SMAs on my chart, but they are putting prices on the right price index. How do I get rid of the prices and keep the SMA lines? Okay, so I'm assuming what you mean is, and let me put an SMA, and I'm going to do that on the longer term chart, the historical chart. But you can go to main and then indicators, and then click SMA, and then click OK. So what you're saying is, tried some SMAs on my chart, but they are putting prices. So you're talking about this price right here, correct? The 301.36 on the far right side. So all you have to do, there's a couple ways you can do this. You'll notice on your chart, you're going to see a little where it says SMA 20. All your indicators are listed up at the top. You can put your mouse over it and go click where it says Edit Parameters. And there's a checkbox that says Show Current Value. That's how you turn that on and off. If you don't want that, you just uncheck it and then click OK. And that'll make that value go away. Most of the indicators that, technical indicators that Medved offers have the ability to turn things on and off. Even like on your Fibonacci's, there are some settings. You can show line values. You can extend to left or right. So there's different things you can turn on and off, and most of the different indicators allow that. Actually, even the clear lines shows a value. You can turn that value on and off as well. It doesn't really make sense. I don't really see a need to show the current value on the clear line, but it has one as well. Yeah, and there's really no purpose to that. Really, the only value you need on the far right side, there would be a couple values you're going to want. You're going to want, obviously, the last price, and that's going to be a function of your candlesticks. So that's what this value is. I don't even think you can turn that off. What is this sliding window? I haven't even messed with that. I don't even know what that was. I don't like what that was. Okay. Anyway, I don't even know what that is. Yeah, that's really the main value that you want to see on the right side. If you're using VWAP, volume weighted average price, you're probably going to want to see that value on your chart, because you want to know where it is. So that's an important one to have. So you know what the VWAP value, current VWAP value is. And an average true range. So when I go to my daily chart, I want to see that value, but I can turn that value, I can adjust that value. Hold on. See, it says show current value. I can turn it on or off, but I definitely want to know the value of the average true range. So like on Netflix, it has an $8 ATR. But yeah, you can do that for most indicators. You can turn them on and off. Some people do want to see what the current value is for the moving averages. Some don't. They just want to see where the line is. Again, it's kind of one of those personal preference things. For those of you that use Fibonacci levels, I do want to share with you something that I think is important so you understand how to set up your fibs. So the software is going to have, Medved has, I think, up to the 200 level or the 2618. Hold on. They go to the 200, yeah. So when you use fib levels, and I typically use the first 15-minute range. Okay, so when I'm measuring, let me remove the current. So when I'm measuring the first 15-minute candle, okay, and I'm looking for obviously the high end, the extension, I start at the top and I go to the bottom of the candle, the bottom wick, okay. Now, normally, if I want to see the parameters, normally with Medved, it only goes up to 200. What you'll have to do is go into the control panel, or the dashboard, excuse me, the dashboard, go to settings, and then under charts, you'll notice Fibonacci values. So you have the ability under the fib trace to add further out values. We use, in addition to going with the 200, we use a 2618, a 300, a 3618, and the 4236. So you'll need to add these here. And then what happens is once you've done that, once you've added it to the settings under charts Fibonacci values, then when you draw your first Fibonacci and you go to the parameters of that, you'll see the additional windows now for you to check 2618, 300, 3618, and 4236. You'll want to make sure that I have 0, 236, 382, 50%, 618, 786, 100, 127, 14140, which is a institutional Fibonacci level, 1618, 200, 2618, 300, and 3618. You want to make sure you set that as your default. The other thing is you're going to have to select extend right, show line percentage, and show line values. If not, it's going to be just a line. And I don't know why they defaulted that. They really should default it to extend right, show line percentage, and show line value. But I need to request that they do that for their fibs. I don't know why they don't. But make sure you set that as your default. Click OK so that you'll see the lines and see the values. I will say using Fibonacci is probably one of the best technical indicators that you can utilize that will help you find both possible reversal points and target levels. And I'm gonna give you the example that I have right now, which is on Netflix. Okay, Netflix actually was one of the alerts that I put out earlier today, and you can actually see where, and I'm gonna make this full size so you can see it, and I'm gonna go 50 bars. Okay, so Netflix drew the first 15-minute. It got right up to the 200% fib level. And actually, let me go to a 3-minute so you can see that. Hold on. Okay, there's the 3-minute. So you'll see on the 3-minute, it had gotten right up to that level. Actually, right here, it kind of shot up to it and then started to come back down. And so this was kind of, I decided was a good spot to short off of that 200% Fibonacci level. And it actually ended up coming all the way down. It initially came down to the 14140, which is that institutional fib level, bounced up right into R1, rolled over, and then went right down to the 127. Bounced off of it, tested it again, bounced up back up to the 14140, almost hit it, and then took off. So just looking at this chart, these Fibonacci levels pretty clearly gave you a roadmap today of where Netflix was going. Actually, you'll see this morning, after the first 15-minute high was put in, which was basically right at the open, it tested that, came down to the 786, went to the 127, back to the 100, went to the 127, back to the 100, and then broke out. Broke the 127, the 14140, the 1618, and then hit that 200, and that's where it stalled out. Reversed off the 200, came back through the 1618, aggressively breaking it, testing the 14140 back up, failure to hit the 1618, but reversing at resistance 1, which was the red line right here. So that became a stopping point. Back down all the way to the 127, failure to reach the R1, 127, 127, 14140, basically stuck in the mud. And you can see this was the exit. So the entry, there were two entries. Initially 200 shares at 369.36, another 50 shares added at 369.66, and then the position was covered at 366.96 on the failure to break the bottom on failure to break that 127, failure to get through. I wish it would have gotten through. There was a VWAP just below here, which we were actually watching. And then there was a pivot point further below that. So it had the potential to go down further. See, we were actually watching the VWAP as a potential target. Actually, a deeper target was down here, but this became the target when it kept bouncing off of it. The stop was moved down, and profit was taken in this range. So for me personally, using the first 15-minute candle to draw Fibonacci's off of that, the break of the above or break below, the extension of that fib level, along with obviously with my clear lines and the VWAP and the pivot points are a very strong indicator together. They work very well all together. Anyway, I wanted to share this. This was kind of my alert of the day. It turned out to be that was about a 2.5 point winner today. So it turned out very well for us. Hold on one second. One second. So let's see. So I got Bruce's questions about the SMA. What else can I answer? Any specific questions today? Anything specific any of you would like me to cover? Okay, Sharon says, can you please show again how to draw fibs? Yeah, I'll show you how I draw. I mean, there's a lot of different ways to draw them, but I use the first 15 minute, and I'll give you a full screen here. So let me go to, there you go. So this is 50 bars on a first, let me clear the slate. This is 50 bars on the 15-minute time frame. So you'll need to click under draw, and then you'll want to select fib retracement, okay, right here. The other thing you want to make sure is checked. See where it says snap to candles? Make sure you have that selected. Okay, that's important because that's what helps the snap onto the wicks of the candle. So once you've selected the fib retracement and snap to candle, then you can move your mouse to that first 15-minute candlestick, which is right here. There's the top and bottom. What you want to do is you want to see, did it break above or did it break below the first 15-minute candle? If it broke above the first 15-minute candle, so it's going higher, you want to start at the top. So you'll put your mouse over the top wick, hold down the left mouse button, it'll attach to the wick, pull it down to the bottom, and it'll snap to the bottom and release. That will draw. Now, the first time when you do this, you're going to see something that looks like this, okay? It's going to be basically this one line, and that's it, this yellow line. This is what I was talking about. I don't know why they default like this, but you have to put your mouse over the line, see where the little hand appears, right click, and then you need to make sure you select extend right. So you could extend right or left, depending on how you want to. I mean, obviously you want to extend right. You want to show the percentage and you want to show the values. So you know where the price is. And then you set that as your default and click OK. There are other ways to draw Fibonacci values, and I'm going to go a little bit further back in history. I'm going to go to 100 period. So sometimes people want to draw the prior day range. That's where you start at the high of the prior day and you extend to the low of the prior day. So you can draw those Fibonacci values as well. I used to use prior day high low. I don't really utilize it any longer because I feel like from my experience, the first 15-minute range tends to be the most powerful use of Fibonacci when it comes to trading. It tends to be, I think, much more accurate. Now, sometimes in the morning, that prior day range can come in handy, but you'll see here's the high and low of the prior day, and it really didn't give us any indication of where it was going to bounce or reverse. So for me personally, first 15-minute high low of the first 15-minute candle tends to give that day's ranges, tends to give you points of where it's going to turn. And Netflix is such a great example today because we clearly saw one pause here at the 127, reverse to the 100, run to the 200, down to the 127. So it's definitely following those first 15-minute levels. So was that clear for you, Sharon, how to draw that? And then if you want to, you can always add, if you have room, you can go to draw, put your mouse over fib retracement and add that to your quick access toolbar. So you see, like right here on my toolbar, I have the Fibonacci retracement button. So I don't have to go to draw every time. Just depends if you want it on there or not. Think of it this way: is anything you use pretty regularly, you want on the quick access toolbar. You definitely want, and I believe I added this for you, the frequency, the period, the shares, the buy, the ask, the bid, the ask, the sell, the flatten button. If you use candlesticks, you want to be able to turn the candles on and off, so hide primary chart. I like having the Fibonacci's. I have a couple others on here, clearing annotations. So this actually leads into our next question. Rodney wants to know, is there a quick way to clear all old fibs from all charts in order to start the day fresh, or do they have to be done for each individual chart? So there is a function here for clearing all annotations, but I think that's only on a per chart basis. I don't believe that will clear for everything. And I'm not sure. I have a question into Jerry right now to see if there is a way to clear from all charts, clear all intraday data, clear all historical data. Reload indicators. I don't think there's a universal way. I think you have to do it on a per chart basis. And I know what you mean, because sometimes I go onto a chart and I'm like, oh, darn it, there's an old fib from I don't even know how long ago. That's why I have the eraser on here. That way I can click it and just erase quickly. But if I get a response from Jerry before the end of the broadcast, I'll let you know what he says. To my knowledge, I don't think there is a clear all annotations. I think it's strictly on a per chart basis. Okay. Anything else you guys have for me right at the moment? Any specific questions I can assist with? Bruce says, what do you think about Jim's T3 stochastic indicator? I haven't spent enough time looking at it to make an educated decision. The indicator we're talking about is it's the T3 stochastic, which is typically a below the chart indicator, but you can also actually put it on the chart if you want. I, and he said he's using it on a 1 minute. Is there value in it? Could be. Like here, I don't need to see the. So what he says is on a 1 minute, when it crosses over, like from red to green, and you'll notice here was one of my up arrows. So it's a kind of like a confirmation. So did this confirm? Yeah, it confirmed my clear line cross. It followed with a T3 stochastic cross on the 1 minute. The reversal didn't occur until quite a bit later. So we had a 1 minute cross here. We had a second 1 minute arrow here, and that was just about in tune with when it shifted into the red or the lines crossed. Seems to be a little bit of a lagging indicator. So is it helpful? It could be. Are there other indicators out there that could be helpful? Probably. How does that compare to just a standard stochastic? And there's obviously all kinds of stochastic. How about a stochastic RSI? No, that does nothing for me. Stochastic momentum index? Interesting. Actually, looks to be a little, again, it's a little, um, a little behind, but it's similar to that other one. It's pretty close. Could it be a confirmation? Could be. I think what you have to do is just it is interesting. Let me expand this. Yeah, it is sluggish, but let me use some drawing lines here. So actually, let's do this. Let's just use a line. So, you know, here was our 1 minute arrow. So you didn't get the crossover until we got our second arrow down on the 1 minute. But that did confirm kind of in between the two arrows. So we had an up arrow here, which it did cross up pretty much with the up arrow. But it seems like the reversals are a little more lagging than the uptrends. See, like right here, that coincided, but the reversal was a little delayed. Could be helpful. See, again, this one was a little behind. There might be ways to adjust it to see if it can help. Again, this was delayed. This was way delayed. Yeah, this was way delayed. I think that's going to be the problem. Is it's going to be a kind of a lagging indicator. A lot of those technical indicators are quite lagging. But could we experiment and find something that might be, help us? Guys, I'm always open to suggestions. I'm always open to looking at different indicators. If we can add something in that would help us, let's do it, What is this shaft trend cycle? Never heard of this one. Yeah, I don't know what I think about that one. Nope. And I don't mind going through, we can sit here and go through, there's a ton of different indicators. We can go through and see if we can find something. Twigs money flow. Yeah, that doesn't do much. Bollinger bandwidth. Are there any indicators any of you guys have used before that you found to be helpful? I just, I've been doing this so long. I'm very happy with my clear lines, and I'm very happy with utilizing pivots and fib levels to help find, targets and turn points, and using VWAP. Those pretty much fib pivots and VWAP are going to be what's going to guide us where we're going, where we the parabolic stop and reverse is a good one. We do utilize that one as well. It tends to be a good validator as well. Yeah, that's one we do utilize, you know. So when you get and a lot of times they either come right after or sometimes they coincide with my arrows. So like here, VWAP shifted when my arrow locked in. It shifted underneath, and you can see we got the first down arrow, and then PSAR came in a couple intervals later. But yeah, did this give a good validation? Did it help you keep you in your trade? Probably so. So you can definitely, I like the parabolic stop and reverse indicator. It does help. It does go well with, especially on the 1 minute. It's a good one. Yeah, we are already utilizing that one. The problem is when you start adding too many indicators, then you run the risk of information overload, and you know they they can start to contradict each other. Oh, I've never seen. Here we go. The Medved oscillator. Let's see what the Medved oscillator is. I don't know. I've never really used oscillators, so I'm not really. Oh, they have a Medved SAR as well. So I guess that's similar to a parabolic. Huh. Now that's interesting. The Medved SAR seems to be a little ahead of the parabolic SAR in certain circumstances. It was ahead of it on the reversal down. It was a little late on the upper. Huh. Maybe we need to put that in as well. But you see what I'm saying is, you start putting so many indicators in there. It can be a little overwhelming. But I'm again, I'm open to trying different things. I I actually think I like the Medved stop and reverse better than the parabolic stop and reverse. It seems to be a little more accurate. Don't really care about the current value. Any other specific ones any of you guys want to test? I mean, I'm happy to go in and try pretty much anything. Time series forecast. That one does nothing for me. Actually, it'd be interesting to see if there is something else out there that would be helpful. Auto trend lines. I don't even see the indicator. Auto trend lines. Where are they? I don't see them. That's funny. I don't even see the values. Auto trend lines. I don't even see them. All right, let's try another one. Three-touch trend line. Let's just start at the top of the list. We'll add like 4 or 5 at a time. See if we see. Oh, that's loud. Yeah, like so. That's late. That's alligator. That's no good. Alma. That's late. That's no good. What is that? ARS. Adaptive RSI. What is this thing? Interesting. Accumulation. Know what that was? Accumulation band? Acceleration bands. Hmm. No, I don't see anything there. All right, let's keep looking. We'll go AMA, ATR, trailing stop, auto trend lines, Bollinger Bands, Camarillo pivots. Oh, that must be an auto trend line. Maybe that's what that is, auto trend line. Nope, that's touch. Oh, three-touch trend line. Three-touch trend. Yeah, we don't really need that. Auto trail stop. Interesting. Don't really need that. Again, a lagging indicator. Camarillo pivots. Daily. Oh, okay. Yeah, I've heard of the Camarillo pivots, but so really most of this stuff not really helpful. A lot of the indicators are not going to do us any good. Chandelier exit. Darvis boxes can be interesting. Delta divergence and DEMA. Let's check those. Chandelier exit. Nope. Don't see anything there. Darvis box. DEMA. Delta divergence. I don't see anything. All right. Again, really nothing that jumps out at me. DMARC pivots, DMARC sequentially. Well, we know about EMAs. Fibonacci pivots. Fibonacci pivots. Huh. This is demarc pivots. Interesting. So the demarc pivots, notice where it did bounce right off of one of the demarc pivots. Fibonacci pivots. Don't need the EMA 360. So this is demarc sequential. I don't really know what that means. We'll delete that. But I do kind of like demarc pivots and Fibonacci pivots. Demarc pivots and Fibonacci pivots. Demarc. It is interesting that how it bounced right off of that demarc, that DMH. I don't know. I might again, it gets to the point where is it just overload? We've got less than 10 minutes to go. Any other questions from you guys? I'm just kind of playing around with some of these indicators. I know Steven's a big fan of Ichimoku Cloud. For me, it doesn't do much of anything. I don't need another moving average. Don't need a horizontal line. My opinion on Neo, I can do that. Are you wanting me to look at that on a bigger term? Swing. I like the long-term chart. That's pretty solid. Nice uptrend. Love the week. Look at that thing, just almost pointing straight up in the sky. Looks good. Looks good if you're already in. It's been up for several days. If you're already in, I like it a lot, Frank. Today would not be the beginning of the cycle to get in, but yeah, it looks good. You're already in this anyways, aren't you? Yeah, I like it. Looks good, man. Good trade. All right, I'm gonna throw a few more of these in. We're just kind of playing, seeing if we could see anything interesting. Rainbow. Oh, that looks like way too much. Interesting. EMA envelope. Nah. Keltner. Nah. No. The only thing I've seen so far that could help us is one of these other pivots. Especially the DMARC. The DMARC pivots could be interesting, only because Netflix went. Let me look at another stock real quick, because I don't want to think this is a fluke. There's a bounce off the DMARC pivot. I see something interesting here. Could be a good one for us to test. I like that. All right, I think that the DMARC pivot might end up being a good one. I'm gonna add that to my wheelhouse, I think. At least for now. Let's see if, yeah, look at that. Reversed at the DMC. Run DMC. DMH, DMC. Could be something there. Okay. We've just got another minute or two. Any other questions? Any other questions? All right, well, I want to thank you guys for tuning in today. Again, this session is recorded and will be posted to our Equity-Alerts YouTube page. You can get to that by going to equity-alerts.com, click the YouTube link. It will take you to our page with all of our recordings on it. If you have specific questions for me, you're welcome to send me an email, kip@equity-alerts.com, or call or text me. And this session is twice weekly, Tuesdays and Thursdays, 3 o'clock Eastern, 2 o'clock Central. Here to assist you. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Have a great evening, and I will see some of you guys in the morning over at equity-alerts.com. If you have questions about subscribing to Clearlines, please give me a call or send me an email. I'll be happy to share that information with you. Have a great evening, everyone. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.